Hello, this is PG. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're having a look at the photo mode in Sifu. So I'll have to pause this. So how do we actually enter the photo mode in this game? Well, let me go into this first room and we'll have a look. Let's get on the dance floor, shall we? Right, so we press down on the D-pad, so it gives us three options. We can start a recording and do the replay editor. We'll talk about those things later. First we're going to press X on the photo mode. Right, so when we're in here, left and right joysticks do this. They move the camera and change your angle of view, which is kind of good. Then they've got the L2 and the R2 stuff do the craning, so I'd like to use all of those things together to get a nice kind of perspective on what I'm actually going to take a photograph of. So right, let's find some sort of framing, just general. What else have we got? So we've got zoom in and up and zoom out with down on the D-pad. So the D-pad is used for your zooming. You can zoom in quite far on this one, so it's pretty useful. Not the best position, is it, for a photograph, but we'll just demonstrate it. L1, R1 does a nice little bit of tilting, and it shows you the sort of level of tilting degree wise, which is quite helpful actually, very helpful. If you want to create action scenes, tilting is usually a good way of conveying action and movement within it, so that's a good option. So we can change the overlay with the R3 button, so it depends if you want to measure via eye line. If you want the eye line 2/3 up, you could use that one. If you just want to focus on a central subject, or you just want a quarter frame type thing, that's there. If we click the L3 button, it will hide all of this stuff, so we can have a good look around, see what's happening, and there you go. If we press circle, that would quit the photo mode, but we won't be doing that. Now there's settings, so we're going to have a look at the settings. So we're going to press the touchpad and it brings up all of these settings. So we've got quite a few. So we've got presets, so you can save presets if you want to create a unique image and then come back to the color variation later. Second option is color grading. This is essentially filters, so the filters add an effect, as you can see. Now filter weight is basically filter intensity, because that's a really essential thing when you're using filters. You need an intensity slider, otherwise it's very severe, very harsh. So that's there. Fog density, so you can create fog in the level, which is kind of interesting. Probably not so interesting indoors, but in an outdoor section, yes. Then we've got an exposure slider. So the exposure slider is a bit slow how it works. It's kind of just raises the brightness, so we'll bump up exposure. Grain intensity, grain creates texture where there's darkness, so we'll have a bit of that. Vignettes are shadowy borders around the image, as you can see, creating a shadow. Aspect ratio is like the frame type, widescreen, 4:3. There's lots of options there, isn't there? And then we've got logo, so we could put the logo wherever we would like it. Well, seems like, can we move it? Yes, we can. There you go. There's an option below it, so we can move it around the screen. We can press reset and it will reset all of those settings. That's the first tab. Second tab is characters. Hiding characters. Do we want to hide the actors? Do we want to hide the main character, or the AIs, or none? And then we've got posing, so we can change the pose of our character depending on what we want. The position of the pose, which is kind of interesting, so it adds loads of options, doesn't it? And we can rotate our character almost to create a fake image, which is kind of interesting. Next is lens, so transparency enabled or disabled. What does that do? That's if things are in the way of you, between us and the camera, it will make them transparent. And then focus, so we've got manual focus, so we can choose where the focus point originates. So we'll focus the subject. We can pick the distance manually, or we can choose an aperture setting. If we choose the aperture setting, we've got to be very careful with how far away the focus is. And those are those settings. So we'll go back. So as you can see, We've just made that complete fake image there. Not great, but that's kind of what those settings do. So if we go back, now replay editor, we can, well, let's start a recording first. Okay, bang, we'll start a recording. We're just going to punch a few people in the head, blah, blah, blah. Bang, bang, bang. I haven't played this in a while, so forgive this uselessness. Okay, now we'll press down again and we'll end the recording. Now it's saving the replay. Now that's the one we just did, club. So we're going to load it. We're going to enter the editor. So now we have to wait a moment for it to enter in the editor. This is basically like a bit like if you play GTA, they have like a Rockstar movie editor. So we've recorded this footage, and within this footage we can basically edit it like a photograph that's moving. So we can create camera angles, we can do all sorts of good things with it. It does take a bit of time, so I'm just going to give you the gist of it. Anyway, right, circle will take us back to the replay. We don't want to do that. What have we got? We've got edit, settings, play, so we can oh no, hang on. Play is X, so we can just play the scene to have a look at it. Jump to the end or the beginning with the D-pad, left and right. So left, and if you press right, goes to the end. Press left on the D-pad, goes to the beginning. Hide the UI is the touchpad. X will play and pause it. But what can we edit? Okay, so there's the timeline at the bottom, right? So we want to choose a camera angle, don't we? So press triangle, we'll edit free camera. So we'll go to free camera. So this is our first camera angle, okay? So we're going to have here, and we'll press square. So now that's where the camera begins. So we'll press X to play, and then X to pause. And we're going to move the camera again. And someone's just chucked a bottle at us. And we're going to just press add another camera. We're going to play again. And then again, we've pressed X to stop it. We're going to move the camera again. And we're going to add a key. And then we're going to go to a wide angle shot of it. Press play. And we're going to just let it roll out like that. And we'll stop it. Add a key. Update position and play it. So that's not great film editing, that's just quick. So again, all of the things that we used in the main photo mode on the left, you can see move the camera up with the L2 and R2, rotate and move with the joysticks, up and down D-pad zooms in, L1 and R1 rolls, tilting. So as you can see on the timeline, there's all those dots that I've put in there, isn't there, right? That's where the camera changes. So, okay, let's go back to timeline mode. And let's just press left to go to the beginning. Okay, no, it doesn't. So we just hold the left D-pad. We'll rewind all the way to the beginning. Okay. And we're just going to press X and watch what we just did. So one angle, two angles, three angles. Not great, obviously, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And then the next angle. Okay. So let's go circle back to previews now. Okay, so for example, edit. No, we don't want that. Settings. So if we press the options button, we've got settings. So we've got audio settings. We can choose background music, which is nice if you want to choose the music for your scene. Photo, we've got presets we could load from the photo mode, but we could color grade the whole scene. We could add loads of fog. We could add the exposure, grain, vignettes. We could change the aspect ratio of it, make it like a film, and have a logo on the top right. And let's press triangle, and we're going to play the final edit quickly to have a look at it with all of the stuff we've just done. Now obviously this mode you could spend hours directing a scene because there's a lot of options, but this is just a quick example how you can have a fight scene with multiple angles. I've done better ones than this, but it took me about an hour to do. Obviously, though, it just takes time. You know, if you've got time to have a good fight scene and actually go through it, then it's pretty good fun to do. I think in terms of the photo mode, it's a good photo mode. I'd probably give the photo mode a 9 out of 10. I'd give the video mode a 9 out of 10. It's exactly what you want from a game like this. Martial arts, you know, people who do martial arts love to watch martial arts movies, so it's like almost directing your own martial arts movie, and the photo mode and the video mode have a nice crossover, so you can do a bit of both and apply different presets to other ones. Let's have a look at this one quickly. Here's one I prepared earlier. Yeah, Sifu, it's one of the better photo modes, so I would definitely recommend this game. Have a look at it, and I'm sure you can take some really nice stuff. Okay, let's play the edit of this one. This is one I made quite a bit of effort on, so enjoy. I think with martial arts, the thing with editing a martial arts scene is it's got to be fast and snappy, because martial arts is fast and snappy, but you don't feel like you can't add bits like that, long zooming or panning segments, because it adds a bit of context. You don't always want it to be snappy editing. You know, how you frame it, how you position the camera, how you use the edit functions, it's all up to you. But, you know, find your own style and direct a scene and see what you can create. Anyway, this is PG signing off. I hope you've enjoyed the guide to Sifu's photo mode. Pretty good. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions and I'll do my best to answer them. But until next time, goodbye.